Zero's a little nervous right now because he put together a little something to welcome Barry into the safe space for the very first time ever, first of hopefully many. And let's see how it is. We're all hearing it for the very first time as we welcome in Barry Church.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls listening from all around the world, I present to you number 42, Barry Church.
Hell yeah, Zero. That's strong. Barry, you like that? He likes it.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. That's the introduction I would expect out of Zero back there. That was awesome. And look, fellas, man, I know I had a blunder. The babysitter backed out on me, so I got daddy duties. I was supposed to be there with y'all. I was supposed to be in person for our first date. I was going to let you guys serenade me, but looks like we're going to have to do it over the phone, and it's going to be awesome, though. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make it awesome.
No, I have no doubts that you will. I just want to know how former Dallas Cowboy Barry Church can't land a babysitter. I mean, what's going on with this?
Who do we need to hurt out there, Barry?
I mean, I might have to put a hit on somebody. I don't know. You know?
Well, Barry, first off, I got to say you did a fantastic job, and you're doing a fantastic job working with our buddy Ari Temkin during the pre and post. But you also work with another one of our good friends, Kyle Yeomans, there at DallasCowboys.com. Yeah, okay, the man. So, I mean, which one's the bigger bleep hole to work with? Let's pull the curtain back. Is it Ari or is it Kyle?
Got to be Yeomans.
Well, neither of them are a-holes out here. I mean, they're both great guys to work with. I mean, Cal, he's always showing you guys love. When I told him I was getting on the nosebleeds, I mean, he was all geeked up for it. I talked to him today, so he gave you guys nothing but love. So, I mean, and Ari's the man. I mean, what can I say? He makes that job so easy because he just throws them up to me. It's like an alley-oop out there, and all I got to do is respond. So, Ari, they're both geniuses at what they do, and I'm glad I get to work with both of those guys.
Yeah, they're both fantastic. We love them both, and you're crushing it, man. But I got to ask you, let's go with your expertise before we get into more with this Cowboys football team, but the safety position. And I know Ari's been joking with you, hey, it's 2021 and the Cowboys are still looking for a safety since Barry Church left and went to Jacksonville. But what have you seen so far? With Donovan Wilson now finally looks like he's going to get a starting job after he played pretty well last year. DeMonte Casey, haven't gotten to see a lot of Malik Hooker, but what do you think about the Cowboys safety position heading into this year?
Man, look, I really think that this is the deepest that this unit has been in a very long time. I mean, you got three very, very solid safeties, a young one in Donovan Wilson, who, like you just mentioned, was coming off of last year. He had a good end of the season last year. He got a full offseason under his belt this offseason. He's playing well at camp. And I think he has that position locked up. I mean, I was looking at the first Hall of Fame game, and my guy was over there in a hat and some t-shirt. And I'm like, hold on, man. When did guys that early in their career be able to just skip out on preseason games? But I guess when you got the position locked down, you could do what you want over there. So he got that strong safety locked down. But the free safety, that's the position I'm looking at right now. That's the most intriguing because you got a battle between two that when healthy, I'm talking about KZ and Hooker now. When healthy, those guys can play the free safety position at an extremely high level. And right now, they're both flying on all cylinders. I'd have to give KZ a little nod because he knows the system. He's played under Dan Quinn. He had his best year as a safety under Dan Quinn when he led the NFL in interceptions with 10 interceptions in 1 year. And I feel like they both bring great high hole safety with them. I mean, they can play that high hole safety with the best of them when healthy. So we're going to have to see how that shakes out. I'm not sure whoever loses this position battle, if we're going to be able to keep both of them, but they're both on team-friendly deals. So it's going to be a great, interesting battle to see how that thing shakes out. But like I said, I mean, this is the deepest this safety unit has been in a long time.
Barry Church with us here in the Nosebleed Seats. Now, we're all very excited about the potential of this defense being much better than it was last season. But, I mean, how much improvement can one defense really make in a matter of one offseason? You add a couple new faces. The coaching staff certainly much different on the defensive side of the ball. But really, realistically, how much improvement can you expect just with one offseason?
I'm not going to say they're going to make a jump into the top 10, which I don't think they need to be a top 10 defense with that, explosive offense that we have. I think they just need to be in the middle of the pack, anywhere between, 13 and 16th in the league. And I think they can do that. I mean, they got to be much better than they were last year with that whole malarkey thing that went down last year. But I think with a full off season for Dan Quinn to put his stamp on this program. And if you see the draft, his fingerprints are all over this draft. They got, I think it was like 8 of the 11 draft picks were all defensive players. So his fingerprints are all over this defense right now. And to me, they seem to be believing in this guy. I mean, if you look at it on tape, it jumps out how fast these guys are flying around. You don't see a lot of, pointing the fingers, what's going on here, what's going on there. These guys are flying. They understand the playbook. They understand what's being asked of them from Dan Quinn, and they're going out there and they're playing well. I mean, this linebacking core, D-line, secondary, all included. They're flying around like their hair is on fire. And what impresses me the most is they're gang tackling out there. Last year there was a lot of try to one-on-one tackles in the open field, and to me, that's one of the hardest things to do in the National Football League is to get one of these shifty guys down in the open field. You got to have gang, you got to have numbers, that gang mentality, and that's what these guys are doing so far. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 hats at the ball at each time. Everybody's striping for the ball, ripping it out. The first 2 preseason games, there was 2 takeaways. And last year, we know this defense struggled in taking the ball away, and that was one of the main reasons that they were terrible. So for me, I don't think these guys need to make an extreme leap into the top 10 where I'm talking about these guys just were off the charts. I think they need to be in the middle of the pack. And so far, I think Dan Quinn's done an amazing job, and I think they can achieve that middle of the pack style defense.
I love, you use the word fast there, and the speed definitely seemed like this offseason the defense, that's what they wanted. They wanted to add speed and definitely some size, but speed was, with every addition they made, specifically Micah Parsons, they wanted to make that defense faster. And looking at the elite defense that you had in Jacksonville when you were able to go to an AFC Championship game, what always just jumped out was just the speed on the field. How much of an impact can just adding that improvement to team speed have for a defense?
I think it's night and day, man. I think it's night and day because when you have speed like that at all three levels, I'm talking about D-line, linebackers, and secondary, it creates that gang mentality that I talked about earlier. When you got guys running like that, it's not just one guy that's, popping off the tape. It's a whole bunch of guys, and you get multiple hats to the ball. That's what makes defense easy. When you got 3 or 4 guys on one ball carrier, he's not going to shake. That's how you limit big plays, and that's what we struggled with last year. We gave up too many explosive plays. Over 10 yards a run or over 20 yards on the pass. We gave up way too many of that. And when you add speed to the defense, when you make the defense faster, you limit those plays. You limit those yards after the catch. And I think that's what killed us last year, along with the run, which was, our run defense last year was atrocious. And this year it's got to be a lot better. And I think it will with the speed that we have on defense. Even though that Neville Gallimore injury, I think, is going to be huge, and we need a lot of guys that step up on the interior, like Brent Urban and Bohanna and those guys. But overall, I think this defense is going to be a lot better because of that speed that they added and that sideline-to-sideline ability that a lot of our linebackers have. We haven't had that in a long time, and we need it, and we got it right now with Parsons and Keanu Neal, and those guys are flying around right now. So I don't see us making a huge leap, but I see us at least getting in the middle of the pack, and that speed is going to help us out a lot.
Barry Church with us here on The Fan. Now, I want to go back to your rookie year, undrafted 2010 out of Toledo. Was it what was the welcome to the NFL moment for Barry Church where he's like, holy hell, I am not at Toledo anymore?
Well, it would have to be that very first preseason game. And it was my rookie year, like you mentioned, and we were going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I had the understanding that no starters were going to play. I'm sitting there thinking, this is going to be, me versus another bunch of college guys out there, so I should be fine because none of our starters were playing. But then I lined up out there. I see Ocho Cinco out there. I see Carson Palmer right there. I'm like, hold on, I thought these guys weren't even playing. And then they snapped the ball, and I swear Ocho Cinco's feet were moving at the speed of light. Like, I was like, what in the heck is going on here? This dude was mixing everybody up. So I'm like, man, hold on. Am I really ready for this? So it was that moment. And then also I was a rookie playing a little bit of defense here and there. And we went up to Minnesota at the time. And I thought, okay, I'm getting some burn on defense. This NFL thing ain't too hard. And one of the defenses we had, I had to actually line up at corner and play kind of like a cover 2 corner to get a jam on a receiver. Well, when I go out there, to get my press position on and say, like, all right, I'm gonna put this receiver in the sidelines, here jots out Randy Moss.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, oh no! What? Go line up on the other side. Well, give me somebody else. Here comes Randy Moss, and he had it like looked at me like I wasn't even there. He kind of just looked over my helmet, just didn't even notice I was there. And at the snap of the ball, I tried my hardest to jam this dude. And you ever heard the expression, if you reach, the other person teaches?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I reached for Randy Moss. He might have slapped my hand so hard, I fell down to my knees. I look up, Randy Moss is about 20 yards down the field with that signature, put my hand in the air and just throw the ball. But luckily we had a great defensive rush from DeMarcus Ware and Jay Ratliff and those boys, so the completion never happened. But when I saw that, I was like, well, there goes that defense. Don't ever put me at corner again.
Yeah,
so,
I want you, Barry, right now to call out that defensive coordinator. Was it Rob Ryan? Who was the schmuck defensive coordinator that said, hey, Barry, go from your strong safety position, go line up one-on-one on the outside with Randy Moss. Fire him now. Is he still in the league?
No, it was definitely Rob Ryan. Though.
Yes.
He had those exotic defenses that were like, all right, we're going to put this guy here. We're going to put that guy there. And he had me thinking I could really do it. And I went out there and tried and got embarrassed. But, luckily the completion wasn't there.
So is there anybody on the Cowboys roster this year when you look at undrafted rookie free agents that you're pulling for, anybody that's caught your eye that you're hoping can make this team?
He's not. He was drafted actually, but it was close to being undrafted. He was a 6th-round pick in Israel. I don't want to destroy his last name. Mukwamu. Yeah, he's not undrafted, but he's a low-round guy. And when I saw him out there in OTAs, he's a bigger safety, 6'4". He's lean. He got great feet out there. Great feet, great hands, and I think he can cover well as well because he came from that corner position in Georgia. So I'm thinking, you know what, this guy got a little something. Through camp, he's been up and down here and there in these preseason games. He hasn't really made a big splash or anything like that. So hopefully, this last game against Jacksonville, he'll get a lot of PT out there, and he'll be able to show his worth to try to make this team. So I've been pulling for him from the beginning. But like I said, this safety unit is extremely deep. So if he doesn't, show out on special teams, it's going to be hard for my guy to make the squad.
Barry, this has been a real treat for us, man. Really can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us. And actually, I'm sorry. As I was just about to wave you off, looks like Walchuk's got one more question for you. Go ahead there, Walchuk.
What's your secret with the pork chops?
Secret with the pork chops? Oh, man, that's a question you got to ask my wife. I'm terrible with the pork chop game. It's terrible. So I ain't got no type of secret to it. You got something for me I need to know?
I'm in search of it. I've been in search. We asked everybody we have on for the first time, what's the secret with the pork chops? Broadus has given me the best answer thus far, but we're just going to have Mrs. Church on next time.
Broadus said applesauce. It's about the applesauce that you like. You marinate them in or
something in
like
the
that.
marinade. Yes, something in the marinade, and also you got to turn it over to the side, and you got to cook the edges as well. And then we've also had a bunch of texts come in 877-881-1053 on the Autoflex Leasing fan text. But there's no one consensus on how to cook a good pork chop. I think everybody's got their own little secrets, but I love finding out yours.
Hey, I'm telling you, I would trust Broadus, man. That dude, when it comes to cooking, when it comes to throwing down, he's awesome, man. He's awesome. He's I don't know if you guys eat crawfish or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I've heard his crawfish are to die for. They're magical. And next time he has a crawfish boil, I will be in attendance. So I listen to him when it comes to cooking, man. That dude knows what he's doing, throwing down in the kitchen now.
All right, Barry, let me ask you this. Was that pork chop question the single worst question you've ever been asked since you've joined the media?
It was definitely top 3. Definitely top 3.
Heck yeah.
Barry, this has been a real treat, brother. Thank you seriously so much for the time.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, Barry.